8,500. Vertical speed. Down, boy. No. Jesus Christ. Oh. It's... Hello everybody, welcome to Chance Draycott Media and welcome to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we're going to be flying a new aircraft. We've done a few flights so far in the glorious little Bonanza, which we've deemed as G-CDMA. Today we're going to be taking on something new. We're going to be doing a hop from Manchester up to Glasgow. A friend of mine lives up in Glasgow, so I've flown into there a few times just to sort of muck about and see what we can do. We are going to be taking on, though, the Textron Aviation Cessna Citation CJ4. I've literally taxied this aircraft out and taken it off once because I want you to see the learning process behind this. I still can't remember how to start it up because I did it a few days ago. We're going to be flying, though, as G-CDMB. This is going to be the second aircraft that we've got. However, I do have to open up a bit of Google Chrome because it's that time where we want to do our random word generation. I literally just head to randomwordgenerator.com and we will have chop. Chop, I like chop. That's a good one. Let's go with that. So we're going to be chop 19 Charlie because man is a porky boy these days. We're not going to need as much fuel, I don't think. Well, we'll stick with 50%, stuff it. We're going to have an approach on the ILS for runway 23. Like I say, I've still not actually landed this aircraft or anything yet, so we're going to have to just wait and see what we've got. I've not chosen a departures or arrivals path. I'm literally just going to try and RNAV it there. Should take about half an hour in the citation, but I think there's going to be a few more waypoints along the way. And... Microsoft Flight Simulator has done this annoying thing that it does where it seems to fly you at the airport and then flies you away on a weird thing to try and intercept the ILS. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But still, this is the first sort of full learning flight that I'm going to be doing for this aircraft, and I wanted you to be along for the ride with me and hopefully enjoy this one. In terms of the conditions, we've got live players, live traffic on, and live weather. It's the 15th of March 2023, 10:20 in the morning. Let's go and get acquainted, shall we, with the dashboard and the cockpit of the Cessna Citation. I might have done a bit of a silly here as well, actually, because my PC is currently rendering a video in the background as well. I've just finished editing this morning. So if my camera's jumping around and if the graphics are jumping around, it's probably because the GPU is working itself overtime. I think the CPU has a lot to do with the rendering of my videos, to be fair, more than the GPU, so... hopefully it doesn't affect things too much. Here we are, my beloved Manchester. Look at the scenery. So cool. There's our little Citation, little citation machine. Look at that, beautiful. G-CDMB on the tail. Here at the fuel pumps at Manchester, ready to go. Look how pretty this sim is, man. This is on like medium graphics as well, and I can see my camera stuttering around like mad out of the corner of my eye. So this could be a lot of fun. Right then. Radio is off for now. Let's just try and get the electrics and stuff on. Let's get rid of this yoke. The batteries and stuff are here, so battery on. Lovely. Nice and loud. Got to try and remember this now bit by bit. So emergency lights armed, that's on there. Pitot, static, cold, left and right, standby. They're on. Parking brake is on at the moment. We're going to get the avionics down to dispatch so we can then get things ready to go. We're going to tune to Manchester to get clearance. Request IFR clearance.
Manchester clearance delivery chop 19 Charlie IFR to Glasgow ready to copy.
Chop 19 Charlie is cleared to Glasgow Airport.
Beautiful.
As filed.
Turn the avionics on. Let's get all that lining up, shall we? Initialize position. We're going to wait for that to come on. Thank you very much, love.
Chop 19 Charlie cleared to Glasgow Airport as filed.
Got the gen switches on. Standby flight display. You can see the heading is aligning. That's why that's spinning. It's saying do not taxi. So we've got vertical speed. We've got VNAV. We also have the altitude here. We've got heading. There we go. It's all aligned nicely now. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, there's the autopilot button. So maybe it's to do with that. I've not got the tooltips on anymore. I want to try and learn this myself and figure it all out. So you may think it's a little bit maybe counterproductive to do all this. We're going to put all these lights on for now, just because why not? I've noticed that this switch, if you just go hit a little bit, it lights up everything. And I think we're pretty ready to go, to be honest with you. I've got better pushback turned on, so I'll need to maybe use that in just a moment. Can't see anything on here that needs doing, to be honest with you. What we need to do, though, is check our flight plan, see whether that's gone in here at the moment. It just says direct. Okay, legs. Barton Croft, Calder, Obuni. How do we go up and down on this? Yeah, I don't know these systems very well. Is it that? No, I think that's on a different screen, isn't it? Oh well. The engine starts are down here. It's quite an interesting sequence to get the engine started in this aircraft. So you have to do the right engine like that. It starts powering it up, and then you've got to wait for the N2 to get to a certain amount. Where's the switch to show us the engine? I think it's this one here. Yes, this here. So you wait for the N2 to come up slightly, and then it's got this lovely little glass thing look over the top of this. Look at that. Don't know how well you're going to be able to see it on the video, so I'll try and zoom in as best I can, but it's just a little glass cover for it. It's quite cute. Got to wait till it gets to about 5, I think it is. And then when it's there, bang on the engine. Crack him. Let's turn that on. I'll give you an external view of that. There she is, starting up. What a great little looking aircraft that is. Or a great looking little aircraft, I should say. Jumping back in, we're going to then get the engine start for the left engine going. Wait for the N2 on here to get to about 5 on that. It says no flight plan on here. That scares the life out of me, but we're going to make it either way. We've got clearance from ATC anyway. They know that we're going to be going up to Glasgow. They're going to help us find our way. Altitude. Oh, God. Altitude is going to show up on this little bit here on this screen. So we're going to do that by twisting this. Get that up to 12,000. That's telling us now to go up to that altitude, so that's what the flight director's on. We're not going to pop a heading in yet. You see this little bit here where it says roll? When I click heading, it goes HDG, so I'm pretty sure that means that the aircraft is managing the heading and not me, which is good. And then when I put the autopilot on, obviously that's going to kick in. If I click autopilot though, yeah, AP.
Autopilot.
AP comes up above that there. Okay, so let's get that second engine going, shall we? Beautiful news. Let's get little glass covers back down on that, shall we? And let's plan our pushback. So we go up to here. Pre-plan. Now we've not got much room here on the ground at Manchester on this little bit. I am on the sort of GA ramp, but I've not got a massive amount of room to turn around here, so I'm not going to make them do too much of a tight turn. We've got a decent turning circle in this aircraft, so let's get ourselves pushed the heck back. Unfortunately, you're not actually going to be able to see the pushback tug for this. I'm pressing this to release the parking brake, and for some reason it's not releasing. No, oh no. There goes the aircraft. I was hoping that that camera would stay static for it, but still, here we are. Gorgeous little jet, innit? It makes you really appreciate them, you know, when you play a game like this and you play a sim like this. Just get hands-on with... Oh god, my D key is broken, so I might have trouble panning to the right. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, parking brake works when I'm in here. That's odd. Maybe it's something to do with that drone camera that I had outside. Let's request
Manchester
taxi
ground chop
IFR, shall
19er
we?
Charlie with Mike ready to taxi IFR.
Let's do a quick flight controls check. Doesn't seem to be doing anything out of here. That's weird. So on the drone camera it doesn't do anything at all. Let me just... And then when you go to external camera, yeah, it all works fine. Okay, so you can't control anything when you're in drone cam. That's very interesting. Go back to the cockpit. Ah, right, okay, so drone camera, all that. Ignore me, I'm just talking rubbish. Sorry, love. 23 left we're going to be going to.
Taxiing hold short runway 23 left.
So we're going
Alpha Charlie Papa,
Alpha
cross runway
Charlie
23 right, Delta
Papa
Zulu Tango chop 19er
Delta
Charlie.
Zulu Tango. Tower on 119.405. Chop 19er Charlie. Let's get a little bit of a view up over the nose. It's got a great turning circle, this aircraft. Like I say, I taxied it out just a couple of days ago when I played with it for the first time, just to see what the systems were like and try and get used to a few things in it. And it's just excellent. It's got a really good turning circle. Obviously, it's very tiny, so it goes well on the ground. But we'll contact Manchester Tower when we cross the runway and get over onto 23 left. 23 right is the main runway that they use here at Manchester, but 23 left is often open in the mornings in summer when it's a bit busier. They get all their departures out on there and get arrivals on 23 right. It's not very busy with traffic, to be fair. We do have live players on, so we will have other people around us in the airport, but I don't think that we're going to have that much going on. One thing I couldn't quite get right is having the right clicks on the throttle, if that makes sense. There's a bit of a sticking point on my throttle here, where once you go into afterburner, because it's a fighter jet sort of control system, when you do go into afterburner, it's almost impossible to get the clicks right between being in climb and then takeoff. You can't really get it to sit in climb, unfortunately. Going to go flaps 1 for takeoff, and any moment now we're going to turn right onto taxiway Papa. Like I say, this thing handles like a dream on the ground. It's got such a good turning circle. We're going to hold short of 2-3 right.
Charlie, hold position, caution, the generic on short final.
There we go. That's good to know. The ATC does have the awareness to tell us that. Acknowledge hold position.
Hold position, chop 19er Charlie.
Yep, and look at that. Traffic landing. Well, that's actually our sort of first major experience with traffic, at least, which is cool. I've got the player name tags off because I really don't like them, to be honest with you, so I'm not sure what aircraft that's supposed to be. I mean, it looks like an Airbus A330 to me. But that's cool. We get a bit of traffic on our taxi out. Makes life a bit interesting, at least, rather than just taxiing straight there and taking straight off. I'm going to have to wait now and see whether they give us clearance to carry on.
Chop 19er Charlie, continue taxi.
Roger, chop 19er Charlie.
Someone else has taxied onto 2-3 left over there, as you can see. Let's expedite a little bit. Let's crack on. Get across the runway. It's always cool being crossing a runway like this, especially in an aircraft so small. Makes you feel tiny. I think there was someone coming in on 2-3 left there. Yeah, there you go. Someone's landing. So now we have officially cleared 2-3 right. This is Delta Zulu, I believe. Let's just hold short of this guy.
Manchester Ground Finnair 1361, request taxi to the gate.
Parking brake.
Taxi to gate
You can just see the parking brake pop up here. When I put that on, you'll see it there.
Quebec Echo November Charlie Romeo.
Just going to have to wait our turn here. Behind the floating Airbus A330 in front of us. Oh, look at that. Bravo Delta Alpha Bravo Delta Quebec Echo November Charlie Romeo Finnair 1361. Oh, you ruined that with the delay, love. We've not put taxi lights on because I'm an idiot. No word from this lot yet. That aircraft down there is clear of the runway. It's interesting to see them land in 2-3 left that way, actually. It's not something that normally happens. It's weird that having to wait your turn like this is actually very immersive. It's so strange. But I'm actually really enjoying myself sitting here doing nothing. You could literally tell me the game's frozen right now and, you know, I'd believe you. Let's tune to Manchester Tower, shall we? Oh, they're going now. They're going forward, so we'll move up. And that's cool. Look, you can't request takeoff clearance because they're now on the runway. That's good. Okay, time to wait our turn. Off they go. Let's request takeoff clearance.
Manchester Tower, chop 19er Charlie, ready for departure runway 23 left IFR to Glasgow.
Oh, the weather suddenly just changed.
Chop 19er Charlie QNH 29er decimal 9er 7, wind 19er 1 F4.
Let's crack on, shall we? We're still down here at flaps 1, and we're going to be good to go. Wind is 191 at 4, so winds aren't that bad, actually. When I was trying this the other day, it was a very windy day here in the UK, and I could barely get off the ground. And we're not going to have any pause in our movement here. We're just going to let it roll for a second. Build up the revs. And then let's roll. This thing accelerates like mad. It's brilliant. It's really pulling to the left. It wants to get off the ground instantly. 100 knots, 120, pulling back on the stick gently. And we are up before we know it. We're going to have to roll back on that throttle a bit. Gears coming up. I'm actually pushing down on the stick. It's got that much climb. Flaps are up.
Chop 19er Charlie, contact Manchester Center on 118.775.
Wow. I'm really pushing down on the stick. If I pull up on the stick, it's going to... If I pull back on the stick, look at the climb it's got. Really trying to go to the stars. Let's go autopilot.
Chop 19er Charlie, did you hear my last transmission?
I did. Let's get some vertical speed going.
118.775 for chop 19er Charlie.
Let's get it to go up a heading. Let's put the vertical speed on. Oh, that's down, not up, Chaz. Ah, there's the vertical speed dot. Right, okay. That makes sense now. So let's go 2,000 feet up. It's managing the vertical speed for us, 2,000 feet upwards, up to 12,000 feet. Tune to Manchester Centre.
Manchester Center, chop 19er Charlie is passing 2,700 feet, climbing 12,000 feet.
Okay, Let's see if we can get some
Manchester Center,
vectors.
chop 19er Charlie requesting vector to next waypoint.
Chop 19er Charlie, continue to BRT and turning, and following heading 325, proceed on course.
Okay, heading 325
Continue to BRT and turning and following heading 325,
So there
proceed on course, chop 19er Charlie.
is where that changes. So that's managing the heading, managing the altitude. Beautiful. What on earth happened to my voice then? Isn't this just the coolest little thing? What a great little jet this is. So we need to look at the speed. I need to figure out how to control the speeds, actually. Ah, there we go. So I can tell it what speed to do there. So we're going to go for 200. Is it going to do auto throttle for me, though? That's what I'm not sure about. Can't figure out where the auto throttle is. I don't think it's down here, is it? Interesting. We never put our landing lights on because I'm an absolute idiot. We don't need taxi lights on now. Seatbelts. Sign can come off. Still says no flight plan, which is alarming. There is Barton. So we need to maybe... Well, let's just try and turn onto that dot, shall we? You see the dotted line, the white one? We're going to try and follow that. So that's our flight plan, basically. So there is a flight plan in place, essentially. It's just that we need to do a bit more manual following. Unless we do VNAV, and it knows where we're going to go. We're at 8,400 feet now. Getting some nice height out of Manchester. Very chuffed. Let's get the yoke back on, shall we? See, it's not limiting our speed, which is what concerns me. I don't know how to do the auto throttle. That's a shame. Not that I want it to do all of it for me. We're actually at 10,300 feet now, so we're looking good. It's cloudy and windy here at Manchester, in the north of England at the minute. I love this little jet. What a great looking little plane. Look at the reflections on it as well. It's so cool. As you see there, I've mucked up the flight plan again, so it's definitely not on any sort of nav mode at the moment to follow that, which is very annoying. Don't quite know what the situation is.
1 Manchester Center QNH 29.9 continue as planned.
Telling it to gain a bit more height now as well. I just need to do a little bit more to proactively follow this. By the look of it, on our way up here.
Chop 19er Charlie climb and maintain 15,000 feet.
15,000, roger that.
Climb and maintain 15,000 feet, chop 19er Charlie.
19er Charlie. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not that much. This is a bit of a weird twisty knob. Let's put some vertical speed in. Let's go 2,000 feet a minute up. Let's get another climb on the go. Very quickly reaching 13,000 feet. Still trying to maintain our speed as well, which is good. This is going well so far, considering. Do need to turn onto this. I think I've noticed that just in time, so we should be alright.
Altitude.
Yeah, so when you're within 1,000 feet of your assigned altitude, that's when it seems to just remind you that you're getting there. Going through a bit of cloud. Does seem very cloudy up at this altitude, doesn't it? Wow, my camera's jumping around a lot. Maybe not the best to try and record something as intensive as this while it's already rendering something else. There's Liverpool Airport down there. Actually, no, that's not Liverpool. There's Blackpool. That's where CDMA is at the moment. I think that's Wharton, actually. That's RAF Wharton, where a lot of my friends like to do some photography and pictures and bits. That's where Eurofighter Typhoons get tested here in the UK. And then, yeah, we've got Blackpool just over the road there. I can't believe, actually, that when we did that last flight into Blackpool, I didn't click that that was actually Wharton that we were going over on our way in. Okay, we maybe need to just turn left a little bit here. Let's just try and focus on these lines and matching up with this flight plan. Let's get onto it as soon as we can and then try and gradually intercept it, smooth it out. Going to do some tidy flying here on the autopilot. I've not landed this aircraft yet either, so that's something I'm going to have to get used to when we get up there to Glasgow. Let's just keep adjusting this slightly to intercept Obuni. Okay, now we're getting lined up. We're going to smooth it out. We've hit Obuni. Wonder why it says there's no flight plan. That's quite interesting. Oh, there's my video rendering in the background, so maybe we'll have some more resource to throw at this now. It turns out there'd been a slight update for the game, actually, and I'd had all the graphics go back up to high for some reason. That's why it was looking very pretty. I mean, this is on low. My camera's been nice and smooth over on that screen, and that still looks absolutely phenomenal, doesn't it? This is everything on low. I've got terrain detail on 100 and object detail on 100. That's enough for me. That's enough to keep me happy. My camera isn't stuttering around. Plane's nice and smooth. I mean, it's still... Look at it. Look at that. What more could you ask for? Flying a Cessna Citation up to Glasgow on a lovely Wednesday morning. I'm happy. I'm happy. This is great. Smooth frame rate here in the cockpit. We're not quite on flight plan at the moment. So again, we're going to try and throw it to this left-hand line a little bit. We're at 15,000 feet, doing nearly 250 knots. We've got a gorgeous little aircraft, maybe a VIP in the back, I don't know. I'm a happy boy right now, this is great. Gradually intercepting the white line here on the flight plan. Still at 15,000 feet. We'll start slowing it down a little bit, but we're still doing just 250 knots. I'm not sure if we've got any sort of restrictions up here still. I'd rather just keep it at 250 and take my time. I need to learn this little system, to be honest with you. We'll get there at the end. Oh.
Manchester Center, chop 19er Charlie
What?
requesting vector to next waypoint.
Why do I mess with it? Why do I mess with it?
Continue to Lakey turning and following heading tree 25, resume all navigation,
Okay.
chop 19er Charlie.
So, initialize position. Great, now what? Help! Mom! Invalid left press. Well, you're invalid. Lakey. Where do I put that in? There? Oh, Lakey on route waypoint. Okay, there it is. Just about to go over it. So now what's the next one? I'm not sure, I can't remember what the others were. So now we've hit that, let's then go give us next
Manchester
waypoint.
Center,
Then we'll
chop
put it in
19er
and then
Charlie
we'll see
requesting
which way
vector
it
to
takes
next
it to.
waypoint.
Chop 19er Charlie, turn left, heading tree 25, resume on navigation.
Okay.
Turn left heading tree 25, resume on navigation, chop 19er Charlie.
Not on ground. Damn it! Oh no.
Manchester Center, chop 19er Charlie
Oh, there we go.
requests destination change to Glasgow.
Chop 19er Charlie is cleared to Glasgow
Okay, cool.
Airport is filed.
Thank
Chop
you.
19er Charlie cleared to Glasgow Airport is filed.
Sorry, love. Sorry to be a
Squawk
pain.
2062.
Bebney. 250 knots. At flight level 12,000. Acknowledge
Continue to Bebney
instruction.
turning and following heading tree 40. Proceed on course descent and maintain 12,000 feet, chop 19er Charlie.
I really haven't figured this turning knob out yet. And then let's get the vertical speed down by 2,000 feet. Let's go 1,500 feet. So to Bebney is the next one, so that's fine. So we can then get on that flight plan at least. We're recuperating here, that's what we're doing. We're up over the Lake District there. It's very windy. Look at the aircraft shaking around. It's really having a hard time, isn't it? Okay, let's try and stay on that line. Let's just get this a bit tidier. We'll get to Bebney and we'll try and sort ourselves out. Thing is, in smaller aircraft like this, it's easier to slow yourself down as well. So the problems I've been having with flying the Airbus about have been that ATC gives you the sort of approach and your slowdown call-out's a bit too late. Oh, I've got such an itchy nose, sorry. So it's very easy to sort of overshoot or suddenly be on the approach at 7,500 feet. Okay, so we're getting to 12,000 feet now. That's fine. Thank you very much, aircraft, for letting me know. We're doing 280 knots apparently. So maybe we need to just come down on that speed slightly. No wonder it's shaking about a lot. We are absolutely caning it. Do I have to manually do this on the throttle? Don't know. It's one of them where I'm still getting used to it. I don't know where the auto throttle is.
Chop 19er Charlie, please expedite your descent 12,000 feet.
Yes, I'm on it. We'll be north of the border soon. Headed up into Scotland. And what I was going to say before, I don't know if I still got my point across or not, was that in the Airbus it's a lot harder to slow yourself down when you need to. If you need to hurry up slowing down, it is not easy at all. In something like this, you know, you're not doing that high a speed, it's a tiny aircraft, you can do a lot more with it. So that's the benefits of flying something like this, is you can really slow yourself down a lot and make a tidy landing, even if you do feel like you might slightly overshoot. DCS? Wrong sim, mate. Okay, we're back at 12,000 feet now. We're doing just over 200 knots. I'm going to give it a little bit more throttle, just to maybe stay at about 215 knots. Going to check in with ATC just to try and get a waypoint.
Chop 19er Charlie requesting vector to next waypoint.
Chop 19er Charlie, continue to Bethany turning and following heading 340, proceed on course.
Okay, Bethany 340. Chop 19er Charlie. It's really interesting seeing one cockpit to the other in aircraft and seeing what differences there are, actually. That's something that I've come to really appreciate. If that line actually leads to Bebney and the ATC's taking it the wrong way, I'm going to be fuming. What's that? I've just thought about this. So you know the blue bits here, you've got this, when I turn the head in, watch this screen here. You've got that blue thing, that moves around, that sort of shows me where I'm heading. And then when you've got your altitude here, that tells you what you want. And then your vertical speed, when you do that, that comes up blue as well. Blue seems to be, like light blue in this aircraft anyway, seems to be the sort of advisory thing of what you're telling it. On there, for some reason that's blue, as if that's what the aircraft wants to do when I tell it to manage the speed. Oh, so you tell it to get to a speed, and then it does it. And then once it gets to said speed, it's back to you, it looks like. Oh, I don't know what I'm pressing or what I'm doing. I just want to play with it and just see what I can figure out, just to make life a bit easier. Look, Bebney is there, you stupid thing. Scottish Centre, at least, that's progress. Thank you very much, love. You've been very helpful. Going to take a sharp left here to Bebney. Just try and get lined up with it, just to help the situation.
Chop 19er Charlie, contact Manchester Centre on 118.775.
Okay, not sure what the point in that is.
118.775 chop 19er Charlie.
Oh, hello again, Manchester.
Manchester Centre, chop 19er Charlie is at 12,200 feet, descending 12,000 feet.
Chop 19er Charlie, continue to NASA turning and following heading 340, resume on navigation.
Heading 340.
Continue to NAVSO turning and following heading 340, resume on navigation, chop 19er Charlie.
340, okie dokie. We put NAVSO in there at least. And back to Scottish Centre we go. If we manage to get there all right and manage to make this work after I've just deleted the flight plan like a moron, I'm going to be well proud. Even with this terrible ATC. Let's go for an altitude decrease a little bit. Let's go by 5,000 feet.
Scottish Centre, chop 19er Charlie. Request 7,000 feet.
Chop 19er Charlie descend and
Thank you very much.
7,000 feet. Chop 19er Charlie descend and maintain 8,500 feet.
Oh, you changed your mind now, have you? If I eventually get this bloody thing mapped in, we'll get there. Why is it jump from 7,000 to 8,900? 8,500. Vertical speed. Down, boy. No. Jesus Christ. Oh. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm enjoying myself. I'm loving this. It's a gorgeous day outside for flying the plane on our way up to Glasgow, up to north.
Flyer 8715, contact Manchester Centre on 118.775.
Going a little bit fast here, so we're just going to slow down. We're doing over 260 knots. We don't need to be at all.
Chop 19er Charlie descend and maintain 7,000 feet.
I was literally about to do a beauty shot.
Descend and maintain 7,000 feet, chop 19er Charlie.
Have we hit that waypoint? I think we have, haven't we? Have we hit NAVSO?
Scottish Centre, chop 19er Charlie requesting vector to next waypoint.
Yes, we have. There's NAVSO.
Chop 19er Charlie, continue
Elbus.
to Elbus turning and following heading 340, proceed on course.
Elbus next. Okay. Well, it beats driving. Really enjoying this little aircraft. We can have a lot of fun hops in this when Chaz finally gets used to the systems and how they all work. I can tell you that for free. We can do even some longer flights in this as well. This aircraft has a sort of 5-hour range on it as well if you fully fuel it. So we could maybe do some trips over the channel into France and into even Spain or Italy, Germany. And we can do some hops further abroad, which would be nice. I'm going to gradually branch out in time and go further on this sim and hopefully have you along for the ride. I should probably pay attention to what we're supposed to be doing though and follow that white line. If you look down here, let me just get it sorted for you. We need to meet up with that line. I turned left to try and meet it early and then forgot that I'm going to have to then compensate and turn right some more. So we're just about to hit Elbus now actually. You can see it here. So this screen is a little bit more zoomed out than this one. So let's ask for another waypoint, shall we, from ATC. Let's move to the next one.
Scottish Center, chop 19er Charlie requesting vector to next waypoint.
Chop 19er Charlie.
Okay.
Continue to Elbis turning.
So we have to hit
Following heading
Elbis before we then
340
carry on to
resume
anywhere else.
navigation.
Okay.
Continue to Elbis turning and following heading
Oh.
340. Proceed on course chop 19er Charlie.
There's one hell of a thing not to click by accident. Just shows you how easy that is when you're trying to zoom out on your camera. Flipping heck. There's Elbis done with, so let's go for the
Scottish
next one.
Center, chop 19er Charlie requesting vector to next waypoint.
Probably going to turn right at some point.
Chop 19er Charlie. Continue to elusive turning and following heading 340 resume on navigation.
Still heading 340. Elusive.
Continue to elusive turning and following heading 340. Proceed on course chop 19er Charlie.
We're really doing this on the fly, aren't we? I'm getting a numb bum from this. It said it was only going to be a half-hour flight. I'm just coming up on recording for an hour now. Then again, it was about 15 minutes before we even got off the ground. Maybe we're going a bit slow.
Charlie. Contact Glasgow approach
Oh.
on 119er.1.
That's
Good
promising.
day.
We're on Glasgow approach at least now. Thank you very much, love.
119er decimal.
Have we got an airport out there somewhere? Can't see one. We should basically fly straight over the airport and then do a right turn and then get on the approach. That's sort of where the game was going to tell us to go anyway. Let's contact them.
Glasgow approach chop 19er Charlie 7,000 feet.
Hello.
Chop 19er
There's
Charlie,
EGPF,
Glasgow approach
so it is
QNH
just over there.
29.85. Continue to elusive as planned.
Oh, overspeeding, overspeeding. Okay, okay.
Chop 19er Charlie descend and maintain 6,000
Okay, okay, okay. That's a horrible, horrible noise. Don't need to be so aggressive with me.
Altitude.
Yep, I know. We're just cruising now. Look at that. Barely any throttle on. No flaps. Oh, look at the wind farm. Beauty shot. That is cracking.
Chop 19er Charlie descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Roger. Why does it jump up so much? What am I doing wrong? You probably can't see that on the video, I'm sorry, but when I'm turning this, it's really quickly jumping up and down sometimes on there. So vertical speed, let's go 1,500 feet a minute down again. Okay, so we are cleared to Golf Oscar Whiskey. So let's try and pop that in here. I'm not sure if that'll pick us up.
Chop
Altitude.
19er Charlie, please
Oh.
acknowledge.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm not sure. I don't want to click stuff. Is that really bad? I don't want to click stuff. That's sort of showing us where the localizer is.
6854, you are 16 miles southwest.
Oh, so that's something coming out of Glasgow, which should be right in front of us. There it is. There is Glasgow Airport. So we're going to
Glasgow
literally
approach
hit
chop
the
19er
airport and then
Charlie
turn
requesting
right.
vector to next waypoint.
Flying directly over Glasgow now then. I need to figure out where the GA ramps are actually at Glasgow, because we don't want to be parking on one of these gates or anything. Sorry, who's that giving it a buzz? Whoa!
Continue to Golf Oscar Whiskey turning and
that?
following heading 335 chop 19er Charlie.
That's clearly someone in a Hornet or something. Some fighter jet doing like an air show style pass that's been swapped out for some reason. I think there's GA stuff down there. There is Glasgow. There's GA stuff here as well, actually. A few smaller bits parked down there. Well, that was GOW there.
Chop 19er Charlie descend and maintain 2,900 feet.
Vector,
Glasgow
please.
approach chop 19er Charlie
We're going to have to
requesting
just keep
vector
asking
to
for
next
vectors
waypoint.
now. This is the complicated bit.
Chop 19er Charlie.
Heading 020.
Continue to 13A turning and following heading 020.
Go 13A. GO13A. Let's pop that in. It seems to have got something over there, but not here. Have I changed something on mine that isn't changed over there? I don't know. Just going to click everything. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm really sorry. I wish I could be professional, but I'm just going to click everything. That screen seems to have it right, though. 020 doesn't seem like the right sort of heading, though. So we're going to go 13A. Because that one's got it right. I'm lost. I'm completely lost. There's a lot of scenery here that we're going to get low over. Look at that. Wow. That's very pretty, isn't it? We're quite low over some of the altitude here. Over some of the altitude? I mean over some of the terrain, I should say. But that seems to have it right. So I'm going to follow that screen there. got it spot on by the look of it, although wherever that... Oh, maybe we're meant to go that way then. What? Let's just keep asking ATC for waypoints and we'll eventually get lined up, won't we?
Continue to Charlie
Heading
Foxtrot
105.
2 tree turning and following, heading 105 chop 19er Charlie.
Traffic warning for a moment there. Whoa! Heck! That is a traffic warning and a half. Are they going to be on the same approach as us? Oh god, they're very low. I think that's maybe the guy that was in the Hornet. Hopefully he's not trying to come up here to intercept us, because that would be terrifying in that thing. CF23 we're heading towards now. So we need to start doing a right turn about now, and really, say slow down. We're doing 160 knots, so we're...
Top 19er Charlie, you are 15 miles
okay.
northeast of Glasgow. Contact Glasgow Tower on 118.805 when inbound.
Rog, we're going to have to do quite a bit of manual flying here, but I quite like the idea of that in a small aircraft like this. There it is. So there's the runway, so we need to start turning right ideally. Because I'm doing that off that screen there to aim now towards it and line up. We might be lined up all right here, you know. We're going to go on Glasgow Tower. Hey, you know what? That's not too shabby.
Glasgow Tower chop 19er Charlie 13 miles northeast
let's go
inbound
flaps
ALS
1.
runway 2 tree approach.
Don't think we're going to need it, but...
Top 19er Charlie
May as well.
Glasgow Tower, QNH 29er.85 1052 at 6.
Where's our traffic? Where's our friend gone? In that other thing. Can't see them about. Can't see them on there either. There's aircraft ahead of us below. Oh, there's an aircraft back that way. Over there somewhere. There's the airport. We maybe need to go left slightly. We're going to get the aircraft to do as much of this as we can to get a smooth approach on the way in, and then I'm going to try and fly the plane in. We're doing 140 knots, so I'm going to give it a little bit more boot. Just keep our speed up slightly on our way in. I'm shaking my leg here because I'm nervous and it's shaking my camera. Is that an aircraft coming the other way? Probably. There was a flashing light there. If I zoom out, you can see it a bit more there. Tell you what, everyone. Let us do some flying.
Autopilot.
Gonna bring gear down. This is gonna feel like it's gonna take forever to get into here.
Glasgow Tower Alpine 6854 is going missed.
Oh, missed approach by Alpine. Wish you could see my stick on my right hand because of the insane amount of twitches and movements I'm making, because this feels very windy. I'm trying to bring the aircraft down. It's actually just climbing at the moment. You can see the little green line that's just gradually going down there. I'm just going to try and keep it coming down slowly.
Glasgow Tower Easy 6861 ready for IFR departure runway 05.
Ooh, trying to put the nose down.
6861 QNH 29er.85 wind 052 at 6.
We're over to the left a bit, so we need to maybe bank right slightly.
Chop 19er Charlie wind 052 at 6.
Turn the flight director off, Chaz, because it's trying to drag me further up for some reason. Whoa, this is messy. This is bumpy.
Runway 05 Easy 6861.
Probably going to be leaving this bit in the video uncut just so you can see how it all goes, because this is bumpy in a plane like this. We're doing 160 knots. I'm all the way back on the throttle pretty much. There's a little bit more play to pull it back, but I'm just going to keep a little bit in. Now we're going to try and straighten up slightly.
Top 19er Charlie, did you copy?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm going to have to do that on my left hand, love.
Clear to land runway 2 tree chop 19er Charlie.
Yep. Oh, it's so sensitive. Really does move around a lot. Let's have a look at the pappies. I think we're high at the moment. We need to be a bit lower than this. There we go, 2 white, 2 red. You might not be able to see them very well on the video, but I can see 2 white, 2 red at the moment, and that keeps me happy. 150 knots. We're on flaps 1. There's a beacon light on the runway, which is not filling me with confidence, but I think that's because someone's taking off. Yeah, someone's clearly just taken off. This has actually turned into quite a nice approach. Look at the scenery as well. Over the river.
6861 contact Scottish Center.
I think it was easy 6861 going out there.
75.
Oh,
Good day.
few bumps here and there. Oh wow, okay, so they've come out this way. Oh yeah, they took off runway 05, didn't they? I should have thought about that. They're going to be coming towards us.
119er.875 easy 6861.
Not quite lined up on the pappies. Still nose down at this point, but that's acceptable in an aircraft like this. Gonna gradually flare it out now, all the way off on the throttle. And absolute cream butter, all sorts of smooth things on the brakes. I tell you what, my flights and navigation may be absolutely terrible, but I'm happy with my landings.
Top 19er Charlie, turn next taxiway.
Welcome to Glasgow, everybody. Going to bring the flaps up. And we're going to let it roll a second here. Let's get on the brakes. Forgot about just how good this forgot about how good this thing is at turning on the ground, actually.
Top 19er Charlie, contact ground on 121.705.
Will do that. Thank you very much. ATC has been most helpful.
705, chop 19er Charlie.
We're just going to hold short here for a second. And then we're going to tune into Glasgow ground. Request taxi to parking. We don't need the gates.
Charlie, request taxi to parking.
Ah, look.
Citation
over there.
To general aviation parking via taxiway Echo Golf.
Echo Golf. Where is that?
Taxiing to general aviation parking.
Let's use the drone camera. Oh my, what? Let's use the drone cam and try and get an idea of taxiways, because you can go and look at the signs. So, Echo's that way, and this is Golf that we're on here, so... Oh, well, I imagine we just literally park over here. They're working on that one, so let's go and park here, shall we? Let's go to this one. All in all, though, despite not quite knowing how to get the flight plan and stuff working, I think that's been quite a successful flight. Again, the approach wasn't messed up. We didn't do a missed approach like we had previously in the Bonanza at Carnarvon. I think everything there went pretty smoothly, to be honest with you. Where do we need to be to get on this yellow line? I think it's about here. Let's turn and get on here and just see. Yep, there it is. You can usually see because on some of the maps they've rubbed out the gate numbers on the floor there. Looks nice and centralised. And then I'm not going to jump outside the aircraft, and I'm just going to try and guess where I pop this one on the nose wheel, because the nose wheel's quite... Oh no, that's embarrassing. I've probably mucked that up big time. Let's have a look. Hey, you know what? I'll take that. Parked here at the General Aviation ramp at Glasgow. Decent flight. Very decent flight. Let's get a shutdown. So we're going to turn all these lights and stuff off. We're going to keep our... You're supposed to keep your beacon light on anyway, aren't you? Because we are technically still running. We're going to put the parking brake on. There's an important detail to begin with. Flaps and everything are as they should be. And we're going to open these little glass thingy-majigs. And then we're going to gradually turn them off. So we're going to go left engine first. That's going to power down. And then right engine. And that is our first flight done in CDMB. I thought that was really good, to be fair. I really enjoyed that aircraft. I hadn't actually landed it before. I hadn't really done much flying in it. I took off out of Manchester and then started to get used to the autopilot and did a bit of taxiing on the way out. But I think that went really, really well. And I hope you enjoyed that as well. We'll be doing a lot more flights in this thing. Like I say, we're going to be alternating between this and the Bonanza potentially. Maybe do another one in this just while I'm in the rhythm with it and I get used to it. But that's all for now, I'm afraid. Thank you very much for watching, though, and I will hopefully see you in the next episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator.